Finally, it is August 16th, currently 1:13 in the morning, and we are just hours away, mere hours away from watching what could possibly be, and what should be, fight of the year versus DDP versus Khamzat Chimaev. Like, bro, this fight has been so delayed in the making. Like, we should have gotten this fight so much earlier, but I'm glad the day has finally arrived. I've genuinely never been so excited for another middleweight fight since Izzy versus Pereira. Like, since Izzy versus Pereira, I don't think any middleweight fight has had this level of hype attached to it, especially after the pressure that we just had with Hamza absolutely losing it on DDP. I think we're in for a very good fight. But the main reason why I believe it's such going to be such a good fight is simply because of the two styles clashing. I mean, we always talk about how, oh, styles make fights. We always hear about different styles that fighters have. You have Khamzat Chimaev on one corner, right? The challenger coming in for the belt. Literal monster. I saw a stat today. He's never once been taken down in his UFC career, which is absolutely insane to even think about. The dude literally mauled Kevin Holland in half after he missed weight versus the Nate Diaz fight. The dude destroyed Robert Whittaker's jaw. Within seconds, bro. Within seconds, destroyed Robert Whittaker's jaw after wrapping himself around it on a rear naked. Dude, he is insane. The dude is a wrestling monster. He usually shoots right off the bat every single round. It's impossible to stop him. Like, genuinely, he is on the level of domination that Prime Khabib was on. Like, there is so few things that you could do once he gets a hold of you. It is genuinely terrifying. And then on the other corner, you have the most unserious, unskilled, technical wise, the most unskilled fighter, not only in that middleweight division, but in any division that we've ever seen almost ever in the UFC. For sure, the least technical champion we've ever had in the UFC ever in DDP. Simply just look at the way he fights. The dude is so unorthodox in his style of fighting. His technical ability is so below the average. It is so bad. The dude does not know how to fight technically, but it works for him. He is so damn good. He's 9-0, undefeated in his UFC career. That is insane to think about. And not to mention, I believe like 6 or 7 of those have come like in ways of have come through either submission or knockout. That is crazy, bro. Having 6 or 7 finishes in 9 fights and never losing in your UFC career is insane. And the dude has good names under his belt. Former champions in Izzy, Sean Strickland twice, Robert Whittaker, all former champions that this dude has beat. It is insane. Like, genuinely, there is no way that you could actually train or prepare against DDP, and that's what makes him so dangerous. Dricus is so unorthodox and untechnical that he's impossible to prepare against. With guys like Hamza, Islam, Khabib, any guy that's from those like Caucasus regions over near Russia, you know that they're just going to wrestle you the entire time. You know they're just going to grapple you. You could prepare for that. And even if you don't win or you're not properly prepared, you know that's what's going to happen. With guys like Charles, other Brazilian fighters, you know they're going to try to beat and fight off their back and use their jiu-jitsu to their advantage. With guys like Adesanya, McGregor, O'Malley, strikers, you know it's going to be a stand-up game the entire time. You know they're not going to take you to the ground. With Dricus, you don't know what he's going to do. Genuinely, he'll take you to the ground if he feels like it, or if he's put in a position to take you to the ground. The dude will stand up and bang with you like he did with Sean Strickland if he so pleases, or he'll take you to the ground like he did it versus Adesanya if he so pleases. There is literally no way to prepare against a student. That's what makes him so dangerous. I don't know if you guys know, but leading up to fights, they usually have fighters in gyms replicate the fighting styles of the opponent. So, for example, you see videos of Michael Chandler preparing and having the guy he's going up against, his sparring partner, mimic the style of Conor McGregor. So, a lot of body kicks, a lot of head kicks, jabbing, very active, light on their feet, tippy toes, moving back and forth. They have them mimic those fighters. You really can't mimic Dricus, like, realistically, because we see so much shit that he does that's just unpredictable. I mean, the way he even tapped Adesanya out literally came because he missed an overhand. His head was too low, was already switched levels in a position where he shouldn't have been, and just grabbed a hold of him, took him down and just took him in a rear naked. Same thing with Robert Whitaker. With Robert Whitaker, literally in the clinch, bro, in the clinch, where people wouldn't assume that you're gonna get taken down, goes for a half Nelson and just uses his absolute brute strength to just sweep Robert Whitaker off his feet and take him to the ground. Like, that's shit that you don't see fighters do because that's considered incorrect wrestling, incorrect form. That's not considered good technical fighting. But Drickus can get away with it because the dude just can. There is genuinely no explanation. You want to call it brute strength, you want to call it autism strength, call it whatever you want. The dude makes it work. And at the end of the day, the only way to even counter that fighting style is by being a raging autist. And luckily, Khamzat isn't that, but he's very close, given who his parents are and the fact that they might be related. Okay, no, but on a serious note, Khamzat probably is the best fighter that DDP or Drickus has gone up against. Realistically, even though he's gone up against Adesanya, even though he's gone up against Robert Whitaker, Sean Strickland as well, Hamzat's style of fighting and domination, I think, is just on another level from those guys. That it is finally on a bar where Drickus is like in a 50-50 fight. Because based off pure physical attributes alone and raw primitive strength, Drickus is just so much bigger than all the other middleweights. The dude is built like a war tank compared to some of these other middleweights. He should be a light heavyweight. At least from the eye test alone, you would look and be like, oh yeah, that's a 205er. So it makes sense why he doesn't need to rely too much on skill when he is literally bigger and built way stronger than half of the division that he's fighting. But I think that's the issue. He's never had to develop any real skill, at least to the level of other fighters. Clearly, the dude is skilled if he's in the UFC and is champ and has been this dominant, but he's never had to develop any real skill to the level of other fighters like a Khamzat Chimaev. I don't think. I don't want to say I don't think. I don't know if that would work against Khamzat. Like, Khamzat is very physically dominant as well. Like, he looks a lot skinnier, but the dude has shown he could maul people and he has crazy strength. So it's definitely the hardest fight that Drickus has had to face so far. And as a Drickus fan and as someone who wants to see Drickus retain the title tomorrow, it makes me a little nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, realistically, I don't think anybody wants to see Drickus lose the belt tomorrow. Like, as much as people claim to dislike Drickus, and even if you are one of those people who claim and maybe do dislike Drickus, you cannot tell me that having Hamza as a champion at middleweight would be better. Like, dude, DDP is an active champion, doesn't duck anybody. I mean, we've seen him take on literally everyone in that division so far. Doesn't duck anybody, actively calls out people, and gives us some of the best presser moments ever. I mean, he's made Sean Strickland cry. He's made Adesanya cry. Like, this dude has great presser moments. He's well spoken. He's charismatic. He's funny. He could advertise himself. Sure, his fighting could use work, but at least it's still an entertaining style because it's so unpredictable. I mean, the dude is the full package to be a champion. You cannot tell me that you want to see Hamza be the champion after tomorrow. Like, if Hamza genuinely wins tomorrow, you can say goodbye to two, even maybe three uh title defenses at middleweight per year. You could say goodbye to fighting maybe the top guy. You could say goodbye to have good presser moments. Like, the dude is so dull. I don't care what you say. Yes, Hamza dominant, but he's so dull at the presser. And yesterday the people at Chicago were just booing him simply because of Bilal Muhammad. Like, literally that was the only reason why. Because Bilal Muhammad hates DDP and vice versa. So obviously the city of Chicago was gonna be backing their hometown guy in Bilal and be booing Drickus. But like, realistically, if you watch back that entire presser, Hamza wasn't even saying anything. The dude was just mumbling the entire time, like, I'm gonna smash, I'm gonna kill him facing. And the crowd would erupt simply just to go against and antagonize DDP. Like, DDP was actually making, some funny statements here and there, trying to hype up the fight, and then you would, oh, Hamza, what are you gonna do tomorrow? You gonna kill him, man. He dead. He kill him tomorrow, bro. That was the entire presser. That's all of it, bro. That's all he says. Every single smash the division.
Smash, smash everyone.
That's bro. That's all he says. It's all he said. That's his only dialogue option, bruh. So you're telling me you'd rather take that over actual funny shit at a presser? Not only that, the dude has the immune system of a sick war child in an Eastern European country in the 1970s, bro. Like the dude is so unreliable in fighting and actually showing up because he's always sick. I mean, look how many times he's pulled out of fights this last 2 years. I think it's been two of them because he's been sick. The dude has missed weight by 8 pounds versus Nate Diaz at some point. The dude is not a reliable champion. Period. Not a reliable fighter. Period. Much less a champion. Like we're gonna be seeing a lot less activity in defending the title if he ends up winning tomorrow. But enough with the yapping and my pointless opinion. I know what you guys came to watch. I know what you guys came to hear. The prediction for the fights. Okay, if I'm being brutally honest, um, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna go ahead and give any predictions for the prelims, early prelims. I feel like the general public doesn't really watch those, so I think it's kind of pointless, and the video's already getting a little long, so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump to the main card. For our first fight in the main card, we have Tim Elliott versus Kaya Sakura coming off of a loss to Alexandra Pantoja for the title. I think that Kaya Sakura is still very good, and he was kind of just thrown into a bad situation, fighting literally the greatest of all time in the division besides Mighty Mouse. So give me Kaya Sakura to beat Team Elliott via decision. Up next, we have Jared Cannonier versus Michael Page. I like MVP to win. Oh, I had to sneeze real quick, but I want MVP winning this. I think that the dude has been really solid. Um, Obviously we know his career that he had before in Bellator was a monster. I think MVP beats Jared Cannonier. As much as I like Jared Cannonier, I like MVP a little more in this, and I just think he's gonna try to style on Jared Cannonier for most of the fight, like he usually does. And yeah, up next we have Geoff Neal versus Carlos Pradas. Give me Carlos Pradas to win. Close fight. I just personally like Carlos Pradas more. I feel like the fight could really go any way. Especially with Carlos coming off of a loss. I genuinely think that Geoff Neal maybe mentally has a little bit of a upper hand in that. Usually fighters coming off of a loss are either one, very motivated, or two, a little bit doubting themselves. So I don't want to say Carlos Pradas is doubting himself, but I definitely don't want to count Geoff Neal out. So just give me Carlos Pradas via decision as well. Then we have Leon Murphy versus Aaron Pico. Give me Leon Murphy to win. That's, I believe, he's the underdog going into this fight. He's sitting at plus 154, and Aaron Pico sitting at negative 185. I still think Leon Murphy has it, and I think he's going to win via TKO in the third. Give me TKO in the third. And then we have Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. The fight of the year that we have been waiting for, and that we spent the first 10 minutes of this video talking about. Even though DDP is sitting at plus 215. For good reason too, and Khamzat is sitting at a staggering negative 286. I want Dricus du Plessis to win. But I don't think he's going to win. I think Khamzat Chimaev is going to win via decision. I don't see this being a dominant win. I definitely see it being very close, maybe a split decision, and Khamzat taking it. But I think this is the end of the road for Dricus, sadly. I think a lot of people are going to call it a robbery based on the fact that they don't like him. Him as in Khamzat, but I genuinely don't see a way that Dricus could win just because of how unorthodox he is as a fighter and untechnical he is as a fighter. I think that works with other guys. That doesn't work with these guys from the Caucasus region who are so grappling dominant, because that's a completely different world. You could get away with having holes in your game with guys like Adesanya who can't really wrestle. You can get away with having holes in your game with guys like Strickland who won't take you to the ground as much. You can get away with having holes in your game with guys like Robert Whitaker who are undersized for the division and definitely undersized compared to you. Khamzat Chimaev is none of that. Khamzat Chimaev has the size. Khamzat has the wrestling. Khamzat's striking isn't even that bad, but his wrestling is just so damn dominant that I don't think there's much Drickus could do against that. So sadly, as much as my heart wants to say Drickus, give me Khamzat to win. In a close one, I don't think it's going to be split decision. I think definitely if it's going to be a title fight, it's going to be a 5 rounder. So I definitely see it going all 5 rounds. I think the first, second are going to go for Khamzat. The third is going to be the closest, but I still think Khamzat takes it. And then I think the last two, Drickus takes it. Give me a split decision or majority decision to Khamzat. I definitely see a rematch of this fight in the future. I see it being a good one, but sadly, this is the end of the road for Drickus, in my opinion. Hopefully I'm mistaken. So sadly, the belt leaves Africa tomorrow and goes home to the Arab Emirates with Hamza. I believe that's where he's from, or at least that's what his UFC profile says he's from. But anywho, that is my official prediction. I hope I'm wrong in my prediction, and I hope I can make a video saying that I was wrong, because I really, really want Drickus to win and retain the title. But we shall see in a couple of hours if I have ball knowledge when it comes to this UFC thing. So, yep. I will make a video after the card, just reviewing it, MMA guru style, talking about the highs and the lows, and obviously the main event, just in a lot less detail. So if you guys are looking for a very in-depth ball knowledge video about the card, this is not the place to be. I will be giving a very casual take on it, just to keep it simple for the people watching. So, yep.